I'm Tracey Tucker, and this is Discover Flint Township, brought to you by Flint Township Economic Development Authority, Shea Automotive Group, Financial Plus Credit Union, HAP, Guaranteed Rate, and 103.9 The Fox. We're here every Sunday at 7:30 a.m., so join us next week again. But today, we have a special guest that we are going to spend 30 minutes with. It is Amber Lynn Taylor. And if you don't know Amber, she is from Back to the Bricks. How are you today,
I'm
Amber?
good. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm so happy to have you here. It's always fun to have Amber because you are so busy.
I can always make time for you, though.
Well, there is always so much to talk about
That's
with
right.
you. That's why it's always such an easy interview. It's like, just ask Amber what she's doing. She can fill the show.
That's what's really great about our organization is because we don't just do car shows. We do so much more in the community as well, which is really great.
Yeah. So what's your big event coming up that everybody knows about, but we need to tell you some dates?
So we're getting ready to kick off Tune-Up Week, August 8th through the 13th. And that's when we take Back to the Bricks on the road locally. So, back in June, we did our promo tour. We went all the way up to Sault Ste. Marie.
Oh, wow.
So
Awesome.
much fun. Yeah, lots of opportunities for us to get out and get the Genesee County name out and, in those other surrounding areas. But we do Tune-Up Week here in Genesee County, starting in Davison on Monday, August 8th.
Okay.
And then we go to Flushing A and the City Park on Tuesday, August 9th. And that one's super fun because everybody loves to come and get Flushing A hot dogs and stuff like that. So it's great. Then we go to Linden on the 10th and then downtown Fenton on Thursday, the 11th. And they have the most amazing night planned for all of our people and spectators. It's going to be phenomenal. Then we're taking it on to the Speedway in Clio on Friday, August 12th, and then wrapping up Tune-Up Week in Mount Morris with a huge band in the road, a car show with actual awards, and that'll be Mount Morris August 13th on a Saturday. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, my goodness. And then when does the actual
Main event.
That
starts. We only get one day off. I don't really get the day off because we have lots of planning in between. But Monday, August 15th, we kick it off at Night at the Speedway, Bertrand Speedway, where we have a dyno. So you can pay $45, register your vehicle, and put your car up on a dyno.
Oh, that's cool.
Register the horsepower and torque. And it's just, It's really fun. That's a true car show as well. So there'll be awards given away for that. Then we go over to Brick Flicks, our historic Brick Flicks and our amazing US 23 drive-in, which is like one of the only drive-ins left.
I know.
Isn't
so
that
crazy?
Amazing. Yeah, Johnny and his
crazy
team have done some great improvements this year. They made it even better, which is crazy. We had over 1,500 cars last year.
Wow.
So we're anticipating that and then some a little bit. So that'll be a fun night for families. We're going to have some race cars on display there, so that'll be really fun.
Oh, that's cool.
And then our historic rolling cruise, and I'm just can't even be more excited about this year's Grand Marshal, who is one of the two officers that were shot in Burton in December of 2021.
Oh, goodness.
So Officer Dalton Christie has graciously accepted our Grand Marshal offer.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And he's going to be he'll leave Factory 1 with us at 4 p.m. on Wednesday, August 17th, and he'll ride all the way to Grand Blanc for the roll-on-in event with our good buddy Lee LaForest and the Grand Blanc Chamber. So they're going to have the Blue Hawaiians on stage. There's more acts this year, more things to take part in than ever before. Okay. And we still have more to come. So we'll do that Wednesday. And then Thursday, we partner with the Flint and Genesee Chamber of Commerce, and we do their Hot Dog Hot Rods event. And so there's another rolling cruise. And then, if it couldn't get any better, we are killing it this year with our Cruise In concert, and we're bringing Badfinger and Atlantic Rhythm Section.
Oh, nice.
And it is going to just rock downtown Flint with a whole new setup. We actually are putting in that 20 by 40 foot stage in the flat lot this year. We want to encompass, because this is what you promote, and it's something I stand for, which is community.
Right.
And we love having the 7,000 plus people in the streets of Saginaw, but we can do better, because if we open up Saginaw for the parking of the classic cars and we leave the stage in the flat lot.
Yeah, you're talking about Saginaw Street, downtown Flint.
Yep, Saginaw Street in downtown Flint, the historic red bricks.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll allow all those people to go to the bars and restaurants and the little boutiques. And I want to see that commerce happen, because that's truly what it's all about. 18 years ago when Al Hatch and his buddies sat around a kitchen table, the whole point of why this car show, it wasn't even called Back to the Bricks then, but the whole reason they were bringing a car show to Flint, to Genesee County, was to get the plywood off the windows.
Right.
And now we sit back 18 years later and look how beautiful downtown Flint looks. The safety is the best we've seen in such a long time. It's just the great partnerships down with their sheriff's department, the Flint PD, their new partners, Premier Security Solutions. They're just making it a family-friendly area to come to, and that's what we would like to see. So that concert's going to be amazing. And then we shut down on Friday night and get ready to gear up, because come midnight, we have cars literally lined up and parked, ready to go in U of M's parking, and we bring them onto Saginaw Street starting around 6:30 in the morning, and by 8 a.m. there's thousands of cars there. And
That's amazing.
And it's like I get all choked up thinking about the opening ceremony, because we pay for these really amazing warbirds to come in, and we do a huge military tribute. We do a military flyover, and it's just it's awesome that we have local organizations that support us as well, and we have to support them too. So we have the Navy, and we have the Marines, and we have the Army, and they'll all be there on hand to lift the flag and honor our veterans and those that have served. So I think that's really great. That starts at 10 a.m. And then if there wasn't any more you could have fun about, there's the Corvette reunion. There's Disability Network Over the Edge. There's Buick on the Bricks. There's Deps and Dogs with the Genesee County Sheriff's Department. There's tours of the Capitol, which we love that they open their doors during Back to the Bricks, and they let you go in there.
You know what? They've done a great job with that building.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
That is amazing. I went down there, and my husband went there, and he'd never been to the Capitol before, but I had bought him tickets to the Tracey was there.
Oh, good concert.
And he just couldn't believe it. He has been talking that place up to everybody he can talk to. So it's amazing.
Yeah, super great. I love working with them, like FIA and FIM. They're just such a great organization. And so they'll do tours, and then it's just cars, and cars. So we're just really pumped. And then we just announced it. We're super excited about it. Saturday of main event, we're bringing in a Las Vegas rock band called Count 77, where the lead rocker is actually TV personality from Count's Customs. It's a car show.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
Yeah, they revamp cars and stuff like that, and we're actually going to have 2 of their cars on display.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's holy cow, so much going on. But you know what? This is what Genesee County needs. When we're out driving around our cars, we want something to do that's safe. And what's great that we can come to all these, like Shay does some great little car shows and tune-ups, and we love being a part of that with them. And we just love that everything's about community.
Right. And, you've got the deputies and dogs. I heard you say there's just so much she just threw out there for y'all.
Yeah.
But where can people see a schedule?
Yeah, you can find us on the website at backtothebricks.org, or you can go to our Facebook page, and they have individual events tagged on our Facebook page. They can contact me, Amber Taylor, at backtothebricks.org. Be happy to send over anything.
Yeah. So how long have you been with them now?
So this is going into my 3rd year. I'm pretty excited. Yeah. It's a great home. I feel great every day when I wake up, and I get to drive my little Back to the Bricks truck around. And, the thing about Back to the Bricks is they're not going anywhere. The car spectator, the car participant, we say is phasing out, but really it's a whole new generation coming in. And I love to see it, the tune-ups, the modifieds, the lifted trucks with the big tires and the small rims. Like, there's so much that people can understand, that their legacy of these, muscle cars, right? Because everyone immediately thinks of a muscle car. That legacy is shifting a little bit, right? So what you thought was your classic car show is now just turning into having a lot of pride and honor in what you drive and what you put into. And us, the entire board of directors and all of our volunteers, we just love to see people excited about being out, having fun, the camaraderie, and enjoying your car that you put all your heart and soul into. Yeah.
And we were talking a little bit before the show, and you've been there 3 years. So how did COVID change up how you were doing things there?
Yeah. So, I came in and December of 2019, and we were in the major planning of Chrome and Ice. And if anybody remembers, Chrome and Ice was pretty near the very last event in 2020. That was it. I mean, we had it. It was a phenomenal event. Over 10,000 spectators come through that event center over the 3 days. And then it was like, now what do I do? we can't do anything. We can't leave our houses. We can't go
Right.
anywhere. And I kept telling my chairman at the time, I kept saying, we've got to figure out a way to get these people out of their house safely.
Right.
And I said, what if we just took them on a drive? Like one day they were able to just get out of their car, get out in their car, see the open road, but be safe in their own confine.
Right.
And he's like, well, they have these thing called rallies. He's like, maybe we should think about, he's like, maybe we should think about that. And I'm like, yeah, like a road rally. And then I just started putting it out on paper, like what I thought would help, and kind of bounced it off my chairman, Steve, at the time, and just kept saying, we could make this could be fun.
Yeah.
And then why don't we make this something where we can give back to the community, which Back the Bricks has not done that historically in the past. So our first one was for the Food Bank of Eastern Michigan, and it was like a $6,000 check we gave to them because all proceeds, $10 per car, all proceeds went to it. And then we're like, wow, that really worked. Like, holy cow, everybody loved that. So then we did it again. And then we did it for Whaley Children's Center, and it was the same. And it was so fun, and it was so good that we decided to do it in 2021, and it was phenomenal. We had 500 and 600 cars coming to these events, and now we're doing it again. And we had one in June, and we have one in September, but the one in September, it's got a little level up notch to it. We flipped the switch, and the NOS is running through the engine now. It's a poker run.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
So we're really excited about the September one.
Yeah.
Rain or shine, these guys are going to have a great time.
Yeah, that'll be fun doing a poker
So
run.
that was kind of our answer. We pivoted. We just said, we're not going to, say, well, that's it for cars. We're done. We figured out a way to keep people safe in their own vehicle, have fun. And now it's just turned into another great feather in our cap of lineup of amazing events.
And while everybody talks about how COVID hurt a lot of things, a lot of things changed for the better.
Yeah.
They added things that brought more people in.
Sure.
We were talking about that too because Back to the Bricks, Amber specifically, will be speaking at a Michigan Economic Development Association conference where they're talking to economic developers about how we had to change what we're doing in order to help our businesses, help our communities, and keep events going so that people didn't start feeling lost and get totally isolated. And
I agree with you. When I brought this road rally, this initial road rally that we had during the pandemic, it was like, I approached the different businesses that I thought, hey, you could be hurting right now. Let's put your name in front of all these people so that when, because we all knew it was going to happen, that when we go back to what we call a normal lifestyle, you're top of mind. It's like the billboard on the side of the road, right? You pass it every single day, and one day you're going to be like, I want tacos. Well, Tio Jolitos had a billboard on the side of the road. I remember that.
Exactly.
And we wanted the same thing for these businesses, and they loved it. They loved that idea that they could be present but not present. So we made these bags, and we filled it with all these sponsors and partners stuff. And, we're seeing the amount of response of that worked. We want to do that again. Can we be a part of that? And just understanding that if you can't think innovative ways to continue on in the future with something like a pandemic, you're not planning properly. And I was glad that I had a chairman at the time that saw my vision and said, okay, we can actually make this. We've never done this before, but we can do it. And what is the worst thing that'll happen? You don't try and then you fail. Or you try and you fail. I'd rather try and fail because I've learned about it than not try at all.
Because anytime you do an event, even an event that's been going on for 18 years, something could happen, you have nobody show up. Right?
Well, last year we had 93-degree weather in main event. Who would have thought it would be 93 degrees? It was so warm. Yeah. But, the flip side of those road rallies and doing innovative ways is we also designed a Discovering Flint tour. And that took our participants, we had like 640 cars registered. They went 17 miles to all historic landmarks in Genesee County.
Nice.
And it took them 4.5 hours. But the feedback we got was, I never knew that existed. I didn't know that was part of the Underground Railroad. I didn't know that was the first house in Flint. I didn't know that's where my great grandma was born. And it was just being able to share the history, which I'm huge on to, in this organization, is like, It's great. It was super awesome. And I hope to do more within your area too. Bring people out, discover these things they're missing out, because we are all so simple-minded. We want to get to our job, do our job, and drive home. We might be missing those side streets with all the extra stuff that you don't know about.
Yeah, we found that too when we did the bunny trail and the
you
elk
did do
hunt,
it.
because we had small family-owned businesses that got involved. And part of the elk hunt is the more, and the bunny trail was, the more places you go, the more opportunities you have to win prizes, because every place you go has their own prize.
Absolutely.
So we had people, I had tons of people. Even we had a radio person doing a remote, and I had them go to one of the family-owned places, and they're like, I never knew this was here.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So, they got some free advertisement, and we had a lot of people that said, we went to every store that was on there and we found places we never knew were in Flint Township. We've lived here all our lives.
And I think that people are more apt to want to do those type of activities now, because there was nothing to do for such a long time.
Right.
And it's a flip. There's a flip of a coin here, because I'm seeing a downshift in the amount of attendance every event is having. But it's not because the people aren't there. It's because there's so many things to do now.
Right.
There's so many events, and I don't suspect that we're going to have any like stellar record breaking years, but we will have really committed, amazing car fans, and that's what we're excited about.
Yeah, and I think you'll still have a ton of people there. I mean, it's just is what it is. So back to the bricks there's so many people that wait all year and plan their time,
their vacations,
their vacations just to be there. I think it's gonna be great. But this is not all you do. What else you got going on?
Oh, I'm part of the Flint Women's Forum. I've been a part of that now going on 8 years, and it's just a really great opportunity for women to get together and network and build these really amazing partnerships. I'm so honored to the ladies that I get to network and call my friends, and so I take part in that. Of course, I'm always helping out with any type of nonprofit organization in the area. So really love supporting my Whaley Children's Center and everything that they do. So then I play softball, and I'm a mom. There's a lot of fun things going on.
She's always busy. If you've ever seen her Facebook page, she is constantly putting out stuff. She had a bit of Wednesday wisdom this morning.
It was a Tuesday.
It was a Tuesday. We're taping on a Tuesday, just so you know.
It's okay, right? We all have those.
It happens, especially when you're as busy as you are.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know you were instrumental in working on the Rosie the Riveter statue that we got out.
We have a
Bishop
huge
Airport.
Dedication coming, actually.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah. So because of COVID, nobody was allowed to be there in person. So it had to be live streamed. So we have been waiting for the all clear from our airport so that we can actually do a nice, not black tie, but a nice affair there, really dedicate that statue and unveil her for all those amazing women. And that's what it's all about. In fact, this last summer, we lost an amazing woman, 100-year-old Phyllis Jones. She was one of my favorites.
I was sad to see that because she didn't get to see the actual. She was part of that too.
So
to
actually,
get that going.
she was told, because her family called weeks before we were unveiling Rosie, and they're like, "So it's closed." And I'm like, "Yeah, unfortunately, due to COVID, nobody can be there." This woman showed up. She was literally standing outside the airport, and Nino Sapone walked up to her and she said, "Nothing will keep me away from this." And he's like, "Well, then I guess you better come in." So he gave her a media badge. It was hilarious.
That's
nice.
Great. So,
I have great memories of being involved with that. So something I'll always, it's on my back in a tattoo, so I will always cherish it.
You'll always remember that.
Always cherish it and honor it.
That.
And by the way, hi, Rusty, the producer here. Don't forget also the statue Amber posed for.
I did.
Oh, yes. So if you see the Rosie the Riveter statue, Amber was actually the inspirational model for it.
Yeah, I am so thankful. I worked with Joe Rundle. I would go so many times down into his basement. That's where his carving studio is. And we had so much fun going back. He and I fought over her boots. No joke. So he's like, "She has to have a little bit of a heel." And I said, "No. Why do you think her coveralls were so big? Because she wore her husband's clothes.
Right.
That's what it was all about. I'm like, there's no way she would have wore her husband's coveralls and then fancy church boots into a plant. It doesn't happen.
Right.
So he and I did our research, and we found that they had made actual boots for women with a 1/2-inch heel because they figured they couldn't go and stand all day if they weren't in their heels.
Oh my God.
So we both won because it was kind of like a boot and a heel. I know, it was great.
That's funny.
You know.
Oh, they couldn't stand all day without a heel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome. But now look at all of our amazing Rosies now. I think about UAW
amazing.
and all of our shops now, and they carry that tradition forward, and it's I can't wait to honor all of them with an actual dedication to that statue.
That'll be nice. Oh, and I just heard that Bishop Airport got a $3.5 million grant from the state for some infrastructure. We're glad to hear that. Always some good things going on in the community.
Yep.
And we're glad to see reinvestment. That's kind of what this show is about, is talking about the good things that are going on in Flint Township, but also Genesee County and the state, because everybody's affected by everybody else, right? Yep. But so let's see. You're back to the bricks. You're Flint Women's Forum.
I'm on the board of directors for the Grand Blanc Chamber. I'm an ambassador with the Flint Chamber. I'm the ambassador chair of the Grand Blanc Chamber. Definitely like to get involved. Oh, I'm also on the board of the Motor Cities National Heritage Area. So that's really neat because I get to work with like the parks, the state parks, and we do a lot of historical landmarks and things like that. So
fun. We have a state park coming to Flint.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
That looks so different down there.
It's beautiful.
We were going down to Tenacity Brewing in downtown the other day. I'd never been there, and that was very nice.
You should go on a Saturday afternoon when they're putting their canoes in and stuff.
Well, that's what I wondered about.
Fun.
We were actually there. My daughter wanted to go to trivia night. So we went to trivia night. It was really fun. It was all outdoor. So that was kind of cool. But seeing where Chevy in the Hole used to be, because my dad worked at Chevy in the Hole and I grew up in that area. So seeing that, it doesn't even look like the same place.
No,
right?
it's just, we're so lucky.
You can see Atwood Stadium across the river. I mean, you never could see that before. It's crazy. Yeah. But it looks nice. And I can't wait to see what they do for the state park.
Yeah, with the trails. That's, specifically, I think I'm excited about that because I do a lot of biking, climbing, and I like the outdoorsy, opportunities, and I can bring Peyton down and have some good times with her. That'll be good.
Yeah, and Kettering's got to love that. Well, and Kettering just did that huge expansion. I think they invested like $65 million in that expansion. So between those two things right there, it just looks so different, and it's just changing the face.
And then in the fall,
all these great things.
Starts the reconstruction of the bricks.
Oh.
So they start, they're going to do a square block at a time, and they'll start in September. And by next fall, they hope to have all of Saginaw Street completely redid, so all the bricks will be redone. And what's really neat and unique about it is they're not killing the history and the heritage of why and what that is all about. But in the centers, in the intersections, that's when they're going to change that to be stamped concrete. So it's going to look like bricks, but it's the infrastructure will be able to handle many years ahead. So
right, because it's the intersection where the biggest
that's where it's really
issues are,
bad.
right?
Yeah, because the turning of the buses and the trucks.
Right, because it shifts the bricks. Yeah. So they're doing that this fall?
Yep, it starts this September. They wanted to start before, but, planning and all that from everything I've heard. So they're definitely working around all the major events, which is nice.
Yeah, and how does all that construction that they've got going on 69 affect your event?
They actually all just opened, so I just
did they?
Yeah,
oh,
so I just heard from Row Engineering and downtown Flint, and we have actually up on the website is a brand new map on how to get into downtown Flint from multiple areas. You just look for the directions tab, and it's really great for right now. It's going to be open and ready for all of our amazing people to come into town.
Yay, we like to hear that. Let's see. I was trying to think. There was something that came to mind when you were talking. Oh, and your mom.
Yep.
You have your little princess. I see you guys going to stuff.
She's 14 now.
You have you and your mini-me. You're dressed alike. I love it.
Yeah.
She loves going to that stuff, though, doesn't she?
Yeah. The great thing about the car community is that they embrace youth. And, one of the things that I brought into this organization was we have to think about the 5 and 10 years from now, not today.
Right.
And 5 and 10 years from now is my daughter driving my truck. So as you know, I have a 1981 Ford's lifted. Mm-hmm. My grandfather bought it before I was born, and then my dad had it, and she's going to drive it. And taking her out and getting her involved in Back to the Bricks, she's a big volunteer. She volunteers at every event. She wears a little volunteer t-shirt. She's excited. She gets to meet these people. And I encourage any parent to think out of the box a little bit. My daughter's talking skills now are so far more advanced than the normal 14-year-olds her age, because she is forced to have conversations with people, and they all want to talk to her.
Right.
Oh, you're with your mom, how's it going?
Right.
And so it really takes their intellect to another level is when they're able to learn. And now she's like, Mom, did you see that Mustang? Did you see? And she knows cars now. And so that kind of puts a smile on my face, because I know I'm helping her. I'm not just making her be obsessed and love cars, but it's the networking, it's the being out, and it's the giving back to your community.
No, you can see in her face when you meet her, or you see even the pictures of her, she's involved.
She loves it.
She likes it. It's not like, oh my God, Mom's dragging me into another show.
No,
it's
not her.
That.
No,
not
she wants
all.
to be. She's so excited about downtown Flint, because this year I'm going to let her stay with me in downtown Flint, and so she's really pumped, and she's starting to learn everyone's name. And she
cool.
actually can remember everyone's name. I struggle.
Sure.
That's like one of my weaknesses. And she's like, "Oh, Mom, did you see Jerry who was over there?" I'm like, "Yeah, I saw them." So I'm super thankful that I work in an organization that embraces youth and they see the vision for the future. And we all need to think that as business owners, community leaders. If we're not thinking about our kids being more involved, what are you thinking about for our future? Because you can't just project dollars. You have to project the people to be there.
Right. Because if the kids don't get involved, the event will die.
Right. Exactly.
And you don't want that to happen, because, like you said, the kids are our future, and we've got to make sure we're involving them. We have had a great show.
Yes,
I love having you on.
you.
And I'll think of about 50 things to ask you after the show, but we've got to start wrapping up here. Where can people find information on the events?
Yeah, so it's super easy. Backtothebricks.org. You can look on Facebook for Back to the Bricks Car Cruise, or you can email Amber Taylor at backtothebricks.org.
Okay, Back to the Bricks. Just remember that and add .org.
That's right.
That one's easy. That's what I always, talk about, because everything's Discover Flint Township when I do the wrap up. So, and I'll just want to remind everybody, if you have any questions for us, you can email us at discoverflinttownship@gmail.com. You can also find our website at discoverflinttownship.com or at flinttownship.org. You can get information there. Also, our Facebook page is at Flint Township Events. We have our Anchor and podcast channel and YouTube are both Discover Flint Township. Kind of like you, we got a little pattern going there, right?
Yep.
But I want to thank Amber for coming in and talking to us, and I'm sure we'll talk to you more later in the year. I want to thank our sponsors, Shea Automotive Group, Financial Plus Credit Union, HAP, Guaranteed Rate, 103.9 The Fox. And we'll be here again next week, 7:30 a.m. on Sunday on 103.9 The Fox. I'm Tracey Tucker, the Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, and I would like to remind everybody to stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township. We'll catch you later.